here in Salt Lake City.
Let's go around the league. The Whip Snakes kicked off the weekend, showing us once again why they remain on top. Matt Rambo led the charge with a hat trick in the first half while the defense held the Atlas to only 1 goal. In the second half, the Atlas looked to close the 11-point gap with goals from Eric Law, Romar Dennis, and Brian Costabile, but the Whips continued to respond. Zed Williams scored 2 back-to-back goals in the fourth to close out a 16-8 win and help clinch the #1 seed for the postseason. Whips are now 6-0 against the Atlas all time.
The Bubble Snakes were back,
Yeah,
baby.
the Bubble Snakes, Salt Lake Snakes.
And in a battle back and forth between the Redwoods and Water Dogs, Rob Pinnell and the Woods took charge. Rob with an 8-point performance that helped propel the Woods to a 14-12 victory.
Pinnell got in front and scores.
This tied Rob with Will Manny for the most points scored in one game this year.
You know, when we brought him in here, you know, with the trade, I told him, you know, we need you to serve the drinks. We're not asking you to win us a championship. And we got a lot of guys that I guess are kind of bellying up and waiting for him to serve them.
But he wasn't the only Redwood putting up numbers. This game went back and forth in the first until Charlie Bertrand put the Woods up with this behind-the-back goal.
Behind the back scores. That's Bertrand, another highlight reel.
Miles Jones's 2-point performance helped him hit 200 career points.
It's a shot and scores.
2 games in a row, getting dubs. Tough win, resilient group we got.
And in another highlight reel performance from Ryder Garnsey, his hat trick added to a career high of 24 points for him on the season, the highest since his rookie year in 2019.
Garnsey scores.
And after a 2-game losing streak, the Archers found their rhythm and defeated the Chaos 11-8. Tom 2-Point Schreiber kicked it off early in the first.
Top shot clock inside of 10. Schreiber shoots and scores.
His 6-point performance puts him at 32 points on the season and is currently the only midfielder with 30-plus points. Ryan Ambler also had his first hat trick of the season, but it wasn't only the Archers offense who had a day. The defense held Chaos's Dane Smith to only 1 point, his lowest this season, which was the only goal scored by the Chaos in the final quarter of the game.
Just like we talked about pregame,
Yeah, we did.
we were f***ing connected and we f***ing fought, right? We stayed together. That's good, man. Let's go Chaos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Chaos.
And Chrome ended up securing a high-stakes matchup against the Cannons here in Utah in Game 4. Sean Scano notched 16 saves on the game. His team heralded him the hero of today's matchup. And JT Giles Harris ended up holding Lyle to just 3 points. JT, a frontrunner for Defenseman of the Year.
My champion of the weekend goes to Kyle Bernlohr, who finished with 18 saves. It was the second time Bernlohr had a save percentage over 70% this year, both times coming against the Atlas. Bernlohr leads the PLL in save percentage and could be dethroning the 3-time champion Blaze Reardon for Goalie of the Year. The Whips' victory secured them a first-week bye in the postseason, and after making a decision to not start in last year's semifinals, I spoke to Bernlohr on this full-circle moment and the opportunity to do things differently this year.
Coach Staggs always says you don't learn from success, you learn from failure, and you know that's what this whole group's doing. You know, we ended on a bad note last year, and we're just coming with an intent and with a purpose every game and every possession, so we're just trying to keep it rolling.
My champion of the weekend is going to the Whip Snakes, Matt Rambo. Matt scored 7 points on the day and secured his 3rd game of the season with 4 goals.
Steps, that's all he needs.
Matt, can you tell me about the one-handed goal?
I've been going my right hand a lot more these last 4 games, so I flicked it in. It's kind of sexy.
And somehow he took a beating out there several times and was able to maintain control of his stick. And remember, of course, we're going to see the Whips next week, but they guaranteed themselves a spot in the semifinals, so we will see them in DC, that's for certain.
And on our rookie radar this week is Cannons' Bubba Fairman. Did have a goal today. He is a Utah native, and the crowd went wild. It was a beautiful moment for him to come home to.
You gotta love the hometown kid carrying one, and the fans absolutely love it.
Our moment of the weekend is going to the Woods celebration after their victory. It started with these moves from Nakai in the locker room. Then the guys got into their cars and went to In-N-Out Burger to cap off their win. I'm pretty sure it was a number of the guys' first time. I know it was Serge Perk's first time getting In-N-Out. Anyways, the Woods know how to celebrate. They're a lock for the playoffs.
Looking ahead, we have one more week left in the regular season, and next week we find out who is a lock for playoffs, but also the top 4 go to the Champ Series.
And PL is coming to the Pacific Northwest. Yes, for the first time, we're finally coming to Seattle. We listened to all the IG comments for the last 3-4 years. We're coming. Get your tickets down below. We're ready for the last week of regular season play. Hope you are too.